So I'm just working on this a bit more. I got the timing lined up. Try to get a shot of it. You can see the arrow there. Alright, got the dust cover on. So, got the pulley on, and haven't moved the motor at all. And trying to see if this will pick it up. The little timing arrows on the dust cover line up perfect with the top dead center mark. On the crank pulley. Yeah, just to show you, this is how I do the crankshaft pulley bolt for torquing it down. It needs 130 foot-pounds, and I have a 140 foot-pound torque wrench. So we got the B18 out. The steps we did was took the turbo exhaust manifold off. See all that's right there. Axles off, so the wheels had to come off. Lower ball joints had to be loosened. The lower strut where it connects to the lower control arm had to come off. And then the axles just pop right off, except for the driver one has those 3 bolts that hold it to the back of the block. You want to make sure you don't forget those. I've heard of people who start yanking on it, not thinking about those, and it can crack the back of the block, and that's not good. Shift linkage. It's just one 12mm and a roll pin, which can be a pain in the ass to get. The fuel system, just undid off the pressure regulator. Nice and easy. Here's the part that goes to the filter. For the wiring, just off of the car and the computer, and then off of the driver's side tower. So it didn't take too long to get it out. Then it's just the 3 main motor mounts. The D series is pretty much ready to go. Timing belt's on, nice and tight. The timing is good. It's waiting for the oil pan still. Needs the bung, and this is for the exhaust for the turbo, so I can go from 4-bolt to vband, but the bolts, you can see they're pretty long, so those need to get shortened, because they are just, you can see on here, they go through and then they're hitting the housing right there. I just mocked up the water lines. Not sure if I'm going to use water cooling or not. Still undecided. I got the pressure feed line in. Right there, there's the sandwich plate. Right now it's just hooked up to an oil pressure gauge, because for the first start I'll run it without the turbo, make sure everything's fine, and then start setting the turbo up. And I don't even have the oil pan tapped yet or anything. So what's left to get this in the car? Needs a clutch, flywheel, pressure plate, all that's right there. Transmission, transmission mount, just gotta swap that over. Yeah, it's nothing special. Chinese cheap mount, but it should get the job done. So I got the clutch and pressure plate on. Got the transmission on right there. Got the starter on. Got the rear T-bracket. So this thing is pretty much ready to go in the car. I may end up putting this turbo back on. Because it was perfectly okay. And it's the same T3 flange, so it'll bolt right onto that manifold. So here's the motor, ready to go in. It's got the wire harness on, the other mount on, everything's hooked up. It's good to go. Car's right here, ready for the swap. So we're going to be getting to that shortly. Got the B18 over here on a cart. Probably dig into this once I can get my car out of here. So we got the motor in. It's mostly good to go. It's got enough hooked up to turn it on. It's like 1 in the morning though, so we're not turning it on tonight. The last things to hook up is the clutch. Clutch line still needs to be hooked up. The axles need to go in, and the shift linkage needs to be swapped from B series to D series. Not sure what I'm gonna do with the exhaust. This is just for testing, but there's like no clearance to it. Doesn't even fit if I point it down because of how the water neck is on the D series versus the B series. So the D series, you see how it is, it comes off the head at like 45 degrees towards the radiator. The B series comes off almost adjacent to this sensor right here, so it's 90 degrees going straight this way, which gives you a lot more room right here for a downpipe. So I'll probably be going back to the hood exit with the short dump tube. I've been thinking about how the intercooler is going to work. So all my other piping from the B series setup should work just fine. The question is, how do I get from the turbo to the intercooler? So the inlet to the intercooler is going to be like somewhere right here in this area. And I can't really tilt this down because of this cast manifold. It hits way too soon, and with it down, it blocks the little space I even have for the oil drain. See, barely any room for the oil drain, so putting the turbo outlet down would just make that even tighter. So I've been having a few ideas with that. I was thinking maybe a U-piece coming out here like that, and then a straight, and then I'll do it'll be a straight with a 90 at the end, and then I'll use a 45-degree coupling to come out of this, and then that would make that come out straight, so then it would go right into the 90-degree bend. I haven't mocked any of that up yet, so I don't know how well that'll go, but that's basically what's holding the turbo back, is the intercooler piping and the oil drain, but that'll get figured out. I got the oil line for the turbo right here, just tucked away with a pressure gauge on it, so we'll be able to check the oil pressure when it first turns on. So that'll be it for now. The next video will probably be the first startup of this.